Hi. Well, first of all, I wanted to apologize for my late post. I was battling the stomach flu this week, and so sorry about the late post. Just now recovering from that. For data collection, it's something that I would say my team does fairly well. Obviously, there's always improvements on it, but my typical data collection routine, first of all, when I'm training paras on how to collect data, we have a formal training at the beginning of each year. This year I started my school year with all new paras, so none of them had been accustomed to taking data before. So what I'll do for the formal training is have a mock-up of a data sheet and use YouTube videos to have them collect data that someone would be programming with in a YouTube video. And then we talk about what the data they were what data they collected, if everyone agreed on what they saw, if they disagreed, and of course this would be done after a little bit of instruction on how to collect data. But that would be a typical start to my year, and then we would determine, if they're putting, a typical plus, minus, or prompt, something like that. All of my data sheets I have for my kids are one data sheet per one IEP program. On my data sheets, they're fairly, very specific. I find that being so specific helps with um, paras so that they know exactly what we're looking at and exactly what we need to be doing. So, for example, I'll have the objective of the goal for the IEP, the criteria for passing that goal, and then also the demand or prompt that a para would give for that program and what a student response might be on that. So that's at the top of all of my data sheets, and then at the bottom would be the targets that we're working for. So if we have a goal on sight words, it would have a list of the sight words that we're working on. And again, then the demand would read either give me I or give me for, or it might read, depending on if we're assessing it receptively or expressively. So that's kind of what all of my data sheets look like. They're very specific. Again, I find that helps a little bit to help paras determine what they're collecting data on and be consistent on what they're collecting data on. One thing I do find as a negative here is I go through a lot of data sheets in a week, and I feel like I'm constantly printing off data sheets for my paras. Some systems I've seen people do them by month or by every week or something like that. My data sheets just have one data spot per day, so I do go through a lot of data sheets in a week, which can be very frustrating at times, especially depending on how many programs my kids have. I don't just collect data on their IEP goals. I do collect data on supplementary goals as I see things that the student needs to work on. Typically, these goals might be something like a following direction goal. A lot of kids obviously still need help following multi-step directions, and printing off a data sheet for this helps the paras get these opportunities in a day instead of just doing things for the students and enabling them. So that would be a typical supplementary goal. Otherwise, other supplementary goals might be just academic goals that aren't necessarily included in the IEP, but I feel like the student still needs to know. So that's kind of how my data collection goes. I'm interested to hear what all you guys do for data collection. Thank you.